Everyone, welcome back to our video. In this video we will learn a chess opening. This is my first ever video lesson. It will be nearly a 10-minute lesson. In this video we will learn the Italian Gambit. The Italian Gambit is a certain good attack for the white. It can increase attack on the black's king side after it castles, and then it will be used to checkmate the king. So there are two variations in the Italian Gambit. Till the third move, it goes on like the Italian game. But we play an astonishing move which will shock your opponent. Let's go move on to the first one. We play e4, e5, nf3, and c6, bishop c4, bishop c5. Then we play the move c3. This prevents the knight on the b1 square to come on c3 for protecting the e4 pawn. Black will think here that he can bring the knight to f6 for attacking the e4 pawn. Well, after this, the knight comes to f6. Some players, even who don't know the variation here, brings the knight to g5. Well, they think that they are protecting their pawn, and also they are also targeting the f7 pawn for forking the rook and the queen. Well, in this variation we don't look upon this, which will lead to the fried liver attack or the lolly variation. Well, after this, white castles. In the first variation we will see that black will also castle instead of taking the pawn. After this move, white plays d4 by increasing the attack on the bishop. The bishop is then protected by the pawn as it captures the d pawn, and the d pawn, e captures d pawn. Then the c pawn captures the d pawn, and then bishop goes to b6. It can also go to b4, but after that a3 can be played. Then after it goes to a5, b4 can be played, and then the black bishop comes back to the b6 square. Then after this we increase our attack by playing d5. This increases attack on the knight. Well, there are three squares for the knight to move, like b4, e5, and e7. Well, if it goes to a5 by increasing the attack on the bishop, we play a bishop to the safer square, and then the knight can be completely trapped as it is in the corner. And if it also plays b4, we play a3, then it will go back to a6. Again, the white knight will only control one square or two square or three square, can we say three squares, as if the c7 pawn moves, but it will be again trapped, and the bishop can also capture it, which will make the black a doubled pawn, which is a weakness for him, and it will take a longer time for the edge pawns to, for getting advancements. So after thinking all of this, the black player plays knight e7. Then we play e5. Black knight was attacking the pawn. Now we attack the black knight with our pawn. So there are only some squares left for the knight to run. Well, if it goes to g4, then we play h3, and then it will be trapped, as it will be in attacking squares and go like the knight sitting down there in the corner. So after thinking all of this, the black player plays the move knight e8. Then we play d6 by attacking the knight. Well, most of the players will do capturing here. They will capture the d pawn with the c7 pawn. Then we recapture with the e pawn. Then it again increases an attack to the black knight. Then after this move, we play bishop to g5 by attacking the queen. Now the queen has no legal moves to run away. Well, the f7 pawn can't be pushed as it is pinned by the c4 bishop. And then for this, the black requires to pin his knight on the f6 square. Well, after this, we play knight to c3 for bringing the knight to e4, or we can also play d5. So it increases the attack on the knight. Well, the main motto in this opening is to capture the c6, c7 pawn for checkmating the queen, for checkmating the king. I'm sorry, for checkmating the king. Well, for that reason, we have to take out the knight sitting on the f7 square, f6 square. Well, so black sees this, and after calculation, a lot of calculations, black plays the move h6 for taking away the bishop from this square. Well, white can also take the pawn for opening up the king files, the place where the king is present. Well, in the main line, we play queen d3 for attacking this knight. The bishop is captured, we capture the knight with the queen. Well, as I said earlier, that the f7 pawn is pinned by the bishop, so white is making a plan to take out the knight by playing knight d4 or knight d5, and then knight g5 is also coming, which will take us to the mate. So white has a clear position here. Well, let's take a look on the next variation. Well, here we play e4, e5, nf3, nc6, bishop c4, bishop c5, then we play c3. This goes as usual as the last one. Black also plays knight f6, we castle. Now instead of castling, black plays the move knight into e4. Well, we play d4, we don't look up on it. Then after this, the pawn recaptures here, and this c pawn will capture the d4 pawn again. The bishop goes back to b6, as I earlier said that it won't go to b4 square because it has to come back after two moves. Then after this move, we play rook e1. We pin down the knight on the board. Black thinks how to prevent it. They play the move d5, attacking the bishop and also protecting the knight. We don't think, we play the move bishop into d5. Your opponent will think that you have nothing in your brain and you are a lot silly. So he will take the free bishop by being greedy. Well, we have a surprise for him by playing knight c3. This attacks the queen. The queen can go to a safer square for being safe, and then it goes back to d8. It is no longer preventing the knight. Then we play rook into e4. It gives a check to the king. Then black retreats the knight to the e7 square, and we are a piece up. Now this is the thing that shows that how powerful this opening is. It's a lot useful, as the rook is protecting this d pawn, the knight is protecting, the queen is protecting it, as well as the black has two attackers on it, but black has black can be a piece down, and this pawn can be advanced into a passed pawn, and the king is well settled. Now, this was the two variations that we were going to discuss. The engine says that the bishops shall be brought to the f5 square after this, and then it will increase the attack on. They will try to increase the attack on this rook. That was done for today. Today we are going to stop here. Well, now I want to show you a good filming experience setup. This is Wondershare Filmora 12. I use this platform for recording my videos and doing some editings. Well, you can use it too. And that's it for today. Thank you. Bye bye.